maybe you don't respond to the word.
It's a big word, so that's why I hesitate.
All right. But, of course, what I'm going to teach you how to make is the chapbook or pamphlet, which is like the age-old preferred method for distributing poetry, and a number of ideas that are, have been important to our society. So,
we have been active in the small press movement.
What's that?
We have been active in the small press movement and lived in the Bay Area in California. We have lots of small press books and some of our books have been handed down.
Cool.
My husband, his book that was published by Letterpress here in Austin.
Okay. Who
Will Goodman. He was the
Coral Springs Press is our press. Will Goodwin, who is one of the rare book curators at HRC, published my third book of poems, The Unknown Law, strictly letterpress and strictly hand-sewn.
Cool. So y'all have
we're firm believers.
You've got the vernacular.
And everybody in this room is a writer, and we hope to get an essay, a story, or a poem out of everyone here and put them together in a hand-sewn book that's going to be a work of art for the last 300 or 400 years.
Okay.
So you're here.
Well, that's
Peso's not maybe for 300, but go ahead. Let us know what.
The idea of putting it all into one volume is...
We want linen string that'll last a long time.
Right, yeah. Well, I do have linen here. But, yeah, to create a large volume like that is probably another lesson.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be that big. It's, but we're all writers, so...
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, good. What I'm going to teach you how to make today is just something like this, except it'll be a much cruder version of this, but it's probably exactly the type of thing that you're familiar with. I mean, this is kind of the mark of hand sewing right here. The way that machines sew books is very different. They don't have these a single line of holes like this. But
can we pass it around?
Yeah, sorry. Teaching is not my first expression.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
Quick question. We might want to put this between boards. You'll teach us how to...
This has boards, so it's just a different way.
You'll teach us how to glue the end wrappers around the board.
I could do that in the future for you. That's, I mean, it's the thing that, it takes, like, some people spend a whole lifetime learning the craft, so we only have 50 minutes. But, yeah, I mean, that's just, like, I make those things all the time. That's just my, that's, like, what I use to organize my thoughts, this type of thing. So, as an example, I mean, by the end of today, you can make all kinds of different blank books for yourself to write directly on, and I'll kind of give you an idea of how you could print something out on your computer and bind it up this way, or if you want to go really fancy, do letterpress. Does everyone know what that word means? Letterpress?
We don't have access to letterpress, I don't think.
Well, I mean, if you have access to money, you have access to letterpress.
No, we've got access to low-cost letterpress in town.
So what weight did you use for the cover and for the cardboard?
That's a mold-made paper. Okay. I don't know the weight on it, but and then I just make these out of trash. I find.
Nice. That was good trash. Yeah, I like it.
That is one of the
joys
of my job is the trash is of a much higher quality than most.
I call it scavenging. I'm a great scavenger.
Letterpress is, basically refers to the oldest style of printing. With Gutenberg, who is popularly understood.
I'm sorry. I'm interested in Asia, and the oldest style of printing is woodblock cut.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry. Printing, as far as the commercial venture goes, or as far as the literary venture goes. But yeah, I said popularly because it's not even really accepted in the printing world that Gutenberg is the father of printing, but it's the easiest explanation. So, but it refers to, what he developed was a way to create an alphabet in relief, a 3D alphabet that could be placed onto, a plane, fixed plane and then pressed with paper. They would ink the letters and put the paper on top and press it so that the letters actually go into the paper to create an impression, whereas most modern printing doesn't have an impression. The ink just sits on the paper. There's kind of been a revival, I assume, the Bay Area. That kind of stuff took off in the 60s and 70s. There was a real rebirth of this old style of printing. It's very pleasing, not just to the eye, it's actually pleasing to the hands. There's a certain tactile quality to it that you just don't get with most modern printing. But it is a much more complicated process than this would be called offset printing. It's how most books are printed, and it's much more expensive. There aren't machines made. The machines that do it aren't in production anymore, so it's difficult to service them and all that stuff. But that's a brief primer on letterpress. But if y'all do want to do letterpress, I could tell you the best guy in town to do it, but he's not cheap. So we should commence with our demonstration here. All we're going to do is I just brought some of this more trash. This is just a commercially produced cardstock, and we're going to put a few pieces. Yeah, why don't we?
Is that what you intended?
That is exactly what I intended. And then this is just, some text weight paper. So how about everyone take 5 sheets of this? This is your cover.
Thanks.
How many of these are?
Just one.
Oh, just one.
One of the red,
We'll bend it.
5 or 6.
Gotcha.
If you're really feeling, you could even go 7.
Okay.
We can fold the sheets separately or all together?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
I understand that you are.
Sorry.
But you are. Hold down. Hold down.
Okay, so yes, you did guess the next step. You want to take all of the paper and fold it as close to in half as you can. And so the best way to do that is just to fold it over and make sure that your corners meet exactly at the top and the bottom, which are also referred to as the head and the tail in the book world. Joe, I don't want to finish your fold for you.
Oh.
But do that to the cardstock and all the paper. And I'm going to pass around these two tools. These are called bone folders. What's wrong?
I love them.
I love them too. Yeah.
This is actually made out of bone. This is made out of Teflon. This is the traditional tool, and it is good and useful, but these, I'm sort of sad to say, are actually much more useful. This tends to burnish paper, and this doesn't. But I'm going to pass these around, and what you should do is take first your cover and just kind of apply some pressure and go across the crease like that, just to get it as flat as possible. And then do it to when you have all of your yellow paper folded, if you could nestle them inside each other, like what's your name in the green shirt there?